Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be comparing a starter $50 to $65 mod and an advanced $1,200 vape mod. This video is sponsored by Geek Vape, and the $50 to $65 beginner mod that I'm going to be using is the Aegis Mini by Geek Vape. And the $1,200 mod is the Brass Gyre by Avid Life. There's a bunch of different pieces on this mod, and actually on this mod too. I'm going to be covering both these in depth, so stay tuned. The reason I wanted to make this video is because I get a ton of emails and DMs and messages in general asking the difference between a box mod and a mechanical mod, so I figured I would do a beginner versus advanced setup and also the difference between an expensive and a cheaper setup. So I'm going to start by talking about the Aegis Mini, and I have a brand new one here that I haven't opened yet, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what it comes with. Alright, so when you open it, that's going to be your box right there. And underneath this is your tank right here. And then you just twist this on here, and that's literally the complete setup right there. And then they also give you a box right here, and in the box they give you everything you need. They give you the USB port to charge, because this has an internal battery, which I'm going to cover later, but the fact that this has an internal battery with variable wattage is amazing for a starter. And then you get your extra O-rings and bands, extra replacement glass, and you get your coil. So you get a coil in the tank and this replacement coil. You also get an instruction manual and your authenticity card. But yeah, let's talk about this device in depth. This kit is super dope, especially for the price point, and here's why. If you check, this material here is straight rubber, so this mod is shockproof and waterproof, which really comes in handy, especially if you drop your mod or whatever, if you're like clumsy with your vape. If you drop this, it literally doesn't break. Like, if you get water on it, it just goes off. It also has a built-in 2200 milliamp hour also has a 2200 milliamp hour battery built into it, which you can charge right in this USB right here. So the good thing about an internal battery on a variable wattage device like this is you don't have to buy batteries and a separate charger, which adds up to around like $40 to $50 usually. So this thing is a built-in 2200 milliamp hour battery, which honestly has lasted me a long time. I took around like 200, 300 hits, and that's when it started to die for me. So that would last me a couple days at least. And the good thing is that this device is chargeable through the USB on the bottom here, which is covered by the rubber, so it makes the whole thing completely waterproof. So I'm going to swap out this device because I haven't primed this coil or set it up yet, and I'm just going to show you guys the screen and all that on this device here that I've set up. So this device is variable wattage up to 80 watts. There's 80. Yeah, so it goes 5 to 80 watts. And 80 watts, in my opinion, is pretty much all you need, especially with these mesh coils that are heating up really fast. You really only need like 50 to 80 watts max. The coil they give you, whoa, that was really high. The coil they give you with this tank, I think, is best at 40 watts. And here's how it hits at 40 watts. So it hits really well. I mean, for 40 watts, it's blowing literally like clouds. So I definitely recommend this device, especially since like when you're getting into vaping, you don't want to worry about the batteries and dropping your mod and breaking it and all that stuff. So the combination of this being so durable and also having the internal battery is really key. One thing I have to point out though is the tank is not waterproof, which I was kind of bummed about, but honestly, I don't even think you can make a tank waterproof because the coils and the electricity running through it. So definitely an impressive mod. So yeah, I would definitely recommend picking one of these up if you're looking for a starter device, or if you're looking for a new, convenient, small device. This is definitely it for you. So I'm going to leave a link below. If you want, you can check that out. So now we're going to cover the $1,200 mod. And real quickly, I'm gonna do a price breakdown of everything. So this is the mechanical mod itself. It's called the Brass Dimple Gyre by Avid Life, and I believe this is the second batch. And at the time that I got this was $400. This button is custom. I'm not sure how much this would be, but inside of the button, I have this silver pin. Normally these Avid Life mods come with a copper pin. This one I upgraded to a silver pin, which was $50. Putting this back together, the top is super expensive, the RDA and the cap. This deck is the 2-post silver battle deck by Comp Life. The deck was $105. Then this cap is the Diamond Battle Cap S by Comp Life. And I don't know if you can see these here, but these are 2 diamonds in the eye, 2 white diamonds, and then in the back is 2 black diamonds in the eyes. And then the material of this is coated white rhodium. I believe it's brass underneath, but it's white rhodium on top. And this cap was sold for $700 originally. So yeah, that completes this mod to be around $1,200. So this specific mod isn't really honestly comparable to this one at all, because this is a variable wattage device. This is a mechanical, just straight battery powered device. But since I use this so much and I get so many questions on this specific mod, I'm going to be going into depth on it, and I'm going to show you guys the true difference between the two. So as I mentioned, this one isn't variable wattage, but on a device like this, it's really for only advanced vapors who know exactly what build they want in their RDA. If this is a little confusing, that's okay, because it's kind of a lot of vape terminology. So basically, everyone who gets this device, not everyone, a lot of people who get this device know exactly what build they like on a mechanical mod. Because mechanical mods, you can't turn the power up or down. It's all dependent on your battery life, the battery you're using, the material of your mod, and the coils in your RDA. So for instance, I always use 4-wrap alien coils. Sometimes I use 5-wrap, but I know the 2 to 3 builds that I always run on a mechanical mod. This type of device is really meant for someone who knows exactly what they want in a build, exactly how they're gonna run the mechanical mod, and you have to really know when your voltage and your battery is dropping off. Also, let me point out that these mods take a ton of maintenance. First, since this metal is brass, they also have copper mods, but copper and aluminum, but I prefer brass and copper because they hit harder, but brass and copper tarnishes. Just like a penny would, it gets green. Over time, a copper mod or a brass mod will tarnish. Copper tarnishes more than brass, but brass also tarnishes. That's why this mod looks so shiny right now. When they're shined up, they look awesome, but in about 2 or 3 days, if I use this a lot, it'll be back to dull. In a couple days, this will turn into this. And if you don't keep this clean, it kind of gets like a penny kind of smell, so you kind of got to keep this clean all the time. Second off, in the RDA, you got to replace your cotton pretty much daily because of how hot this burns, and you got to replace your coils accordingly. So for me, it's every like 2 weeks to 4 weeks. But for you, depending on what build you're using, it'll depend on the life of the coil. And the third thing is you always have to be aware of what your battery is at. The voltage of your battery on a mechanical mod is extremely important. Normally, a battery's life is from 3.6 volts to 4.2 volts. And for a mechanical mod, you really, in my opinion, you really don't want your battery to go below like 3.8 or 3.9 volts, because that's when it can start to get dangerous. Since this mod is unregulated, if you're running your battery super low voltage and you're running a low resistance coil, your mod can malfunction. But when your battery drops on a mechanical mod, it can get very dangerous. So you always want to be aware of what your voltage is at in your mechanical mod. Another reason this mod is very inconvenient and a lot of work is in public, you have to bring multiple batteries because these batteries die very fast when you're using a mechanical mod. So normally I would bring 2 to 3 extra batteries. Then you got to bring your juice to drip on your atomizer. And you got to constantly be re-dripping your cotton because when you get a dry hit, it's disgusting. But let me show you the performance of this mod since I haven't even hit it yet. I don't know about visually on camera, but when you hit this mod compared to this mod feels like air, this mod feels like fire. That also really depends on what you're building on an RDA. If you run an RDA on here, I'm sure you could get very dense clouds as well. Now that I've compared these two in cloud production, I'm going to compare it in tricks. And now I'm going to be tricking with the Aegis Mini. So I did a little demonstration of me tricking with both, which obviously isn't perfect because I don't have room in my room to really like walk around and do jellies and lassos and licks and stuff like that, but they're definitely very different. I don't necessarily think one is better. I think for my style of tricking, I would prefer this, but this is very good compared to this, especially in terms of price. I would pretty much put them equal. This one, you do get a lot denser hits, which for some people it might help or not help trick. And this one, you get, it's weird. You like get a big cloud, but it doesn't feel like you're taking a hit. So honestly, they both have their strengths. I would say this one you can get bigger O's and more dense clouds, but besides the bigger O's and more dense tricks, I would say they're pretty equal in terms of tricking. So overall, I would say an AV or an advanced mechanical mod is really for a small group of people. I don't think it's for everyone. And these high-end mechanical mods are definitely not for a beginner or a new vapor. And I don't think any new vapors should ever get a mechanical mod for their first or even second or third device. I think it should be way later down the line if you're going to get one. So that's pretty much going to wrap up the video, and based off of all of that, which mod do you think is more functional and a better price for what you get? Leave a comment below. I'm going to hit both of these at the same time right now because I'm weird. Okay, 2 vapes is always better than 1 for clouds. But anyways, peace out, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more, and peace out until next time.